From Fox 15, News 15 Today starts now.
Good Monday morning and welcome back. You're watching News 15 Today. I'm Alex Worstel. Well, let's start off by checking in with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier. Adam, a chilly start to the morning.
Yeah, Alex, we are seeing those chilly temperatures across the region. We have a little bit of a warming trend going on right now that the sun has come above the horizon, but some of us have actually dropped a degree or two. Take Opelousas, you were at 41, now you're down to 40. It's 49 in Breaux Bridge, 50 in Lafayette and in Abbeville, 52 in New Iberia. We look at our cloud cover out there, and the non-existent cloud cover is all down closer to the coast and offshore, where it will remain for much of the day today. As we go through the rest of your morning, though, we see lots of sunshine out there, cool temperatures through about mid-morning, and then we start to warm up. We're going to talk more details on how long the sunshine lasts and when rain chances return to the forecast coming up.
Okay, Adam, sounds great. Thanks. We'll check back. The Louisiana Department of Health reporting an increase of 448 COVID-19 cases in the state. And since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, Louisiana has reported more than 378,000 confirmed cases. Now in Acadiana, the Lafayette Parish case count is approaching 20,000. There are more than 9,000 COVID-19 related deaths, according to LDH. If you find yourself needing a COVID-19 test, then take a look at your screen. Here are a handful of places across 3 parishes that can accommodate you. Some of these are by appointment only. If you'd like to learn more about COVID-19 testing locations in your area, head to our website, kadn.com. A joint World Health Organization and China study on the origins of COVID-19 says the transmission from bats to humans through another animal is most likely the scenario that a lab leak of the coronavirus is extremely unlikely. A draft copy was obtained by the Associated Press, and the findings were largely as expected and left many questions unanswered. The team proposed further research in every area except the lab leak hypothesis. The reports released have many repeatedly delayed questions about whether the Chinese side was trying to skew the conclusions. The AP received what appeared to be a near final version from a diplomat from WHO members. Well, the Biden administration is working on a system for people to prove they've been vaccinated against COVID-19. The so-called VaxPass or vaccine passport could be used by individuals in the workplace, in school, or traveling internationally. According to a senior White House official, multiple agencies are involved in planning. Potentially, the vaccine credentials could play a role in the multiple aspects of daily life. The travel industry in particular has been calling on the federal government to develop a kind of universal VaxPass system. According to a Washington Post story, the demand for the pass is expected to become more urgent as more Americans get vaccinated every day. Well, staying mentally strong in the midst of a global pandemic can be a challenge for everyone. But as we celebrate Women's History Month, Wendy Woolfolk has a good reminder of some do's and don'ts to help.
To say the last 12 months have been chaotic is an understatement, putting working women and stay-at-home moms to the test.
Mental strength is about acknowledging, I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all together, but I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to work on becoming better.
Amy Morin, editor-in-chief of Very Well Mind website, likens maintaining mental strength to your physical strength.
Because we know that our muscles get weak over time. Mental strength is the same. It's an ongoing process, and we all have the ability to continue to perform mental exercises so that we can reach our greatest potential.
One suggestion for the do list, spring cleaning, whether getting the entire house in order or simply organizing a closet.
Because it gives us some mastery over our environment. It gives us something that we have control over.
One tip for the don't list from Chantel Bisson, author of Raising Your Kids Without Losing Your Cool.
Keep your eyes on your own garden and stop worrying about what everybody's doing on social media or what other parents are allowing their kids to get away with or do and what those house rules are.
Whether online, at the office, or the grocery store, stop comparing ourselves to other people.
We all are created equal. We come in naked. We leave with nothing. We all come in the same way. We all go out the same way.
A balance of self-acceptance with self-improvement can help everyone stay mentally strong for the daily juggle.
Many as 1 in 5 teens may have access to a handgun. This, according to a new anonymous survey of over 46,000 high school students published in Pediatrics. 20% of those teens said it was very easy or sort of easy to access a handgun. Males, older students, and those living in rural areas were more likely to be able to find a gun. The survey also showed teens with mental health concerns, including those who've attempted suicide, had easier access to a handgun. And new data from Children's National Hospital reveals more than a third of gun injuries among kids and teens are accidental. Researchers looked at nearly 180,000 ER visits for youth firearm injuries in over a 7-year period, and they found that 40% of cases were unintentional, 38% were assault related, and under 2% were self-harm. Accidental injuries were more common among kids under 12, those in rural areas, and in the southern U.S. Well, in just a few hours, the murder trial of former Minneapolis police officer begins. Derek Chauvin was seen in cell phone video kneeling on the neck of George Floyd for more than 8 minutes when he died. Jay Gray has more this morning outside of the courthouse with a closer look at the high-profile case, both inside and outside of today's opening session.
Windows are boarded up, streets blocked off. The number of police and National Guard troops growing around the courthouse, security that will continue to build through the trial.
That presence will reach capacity at a graduated scale as we get closer into the verdict and deliberations. That capacity, as you know, is about 2,000 National Guard and 1,100 law enforcement partners.
There were protests this weekend, and crowds outside the courthouse are expected to grow as the high-profile case unfolds.
So just as we stood when he was killed, we have to remember we're going to stand with that verdict if we don't get what we want, if George don't get it.
George Floyd's family joined supporters at a vigil Sunday night.
There's a time for change, and that change is now. There's only one race, and it's the human race.
Inside the courtroom, the judge expected to take care of some legal housekeeping matters before seating the jury that will ultimately determine Derek Chauvin's fate. Though legal observers point out it's not only the former Minnesota police officer on trial here.
It's difficult not also to think more broadly about the fact that the nation is watching, because it's also about the fundamental integrity of the system.
What will likely be an intense and at times emotional case is expected to last 2 to 4 weeks.
President Obama's grandmother has died. Sarah Obama passed away in Kenyan hospital today. The matriarch of Obama's Kenya family, affectionately called Mama Sarah, was a philanthropist who promoted education for girls and orphans. In his memoir, President Obama described meeting his step-grandmother during his 1988 trip to Kenya and how the relationship grew into a warm bond. The former president has sent his condolences. Sarah Obama was 99 years old. Well, coming up, Al Abair is live with Michelle Youngberg-Mouton of Heather Mountain Catering to help create some Easter treats you can enjoy this weekend.
Michelle. So I love pork. I was buying the pork loin over at Costco. You know, you get the pork loin, the big ones that come like they're that long. And while they're low in fat, I don't find them to have the same level of flavor as a pork chop has.
No, because you're missing the tenderloin. It's kind of like a New York strip versus filet mignon. It's the same thing. The pork loin is the right side, the pork is the left side.
Ah, okay, interesting. We could do a whole day on pork. We could probably come here once or twice a month. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate it.
Welcome back. If you are pondering your Easter menu, Michelle Youngberg-Mouton and Al Hebert may have a few ideas for you. They're at Heather Mountain Catering this morning, and we're going to check in with them. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, good morning. Things are just great out here. Okay, so Michelle, we have done this. This is our asparagus, which isn't that beautiful? My God, that's gorgeous. But now it's time to do the lamb chop. So tell us what we do.
All right, so we have salt, pepper, garlic, olive oil, and rosemary. So we have these beautiful little lamb chops. They're kind of like little porterhouse steaks. And we're going to put them into a cast iron skillet. You could also do this on the barbecue pit. We're going to cook them about 3 minutes aside because you don't want to overcook this. Do them medium rare. Don't really crowd them or they'll steam and not brown.
Steam and not brown. That's interesting.
And leave them alone.
So, Michelle.
Once you put them in, don't touch them.
Okay. Boy, that's hard.
They're not going to get crispy and golden and get that beautiful caramelization on it.
Now, I like to, when I'm cooking something, I like to poke it. So you're saying don't poke it? Okay.
Leave it alone. It's like squishing a hamburger. You squish all the juices out.
I think that's a guy thing. I think that, men, we start cooking something and we go, well, okay, I got to do something, but don't do it.
Leave it alone.
So, what's interesting, Alex, because I know you're a big cook, is the oil that Michelle is using. So tell us about the oil you're using and why.
Right now I have grapeseed oil. I don't want something that's going to burn. It has the higher smoke point. It also is pretty neutral in flavor because I don't want it to take away from this beautiful piece of meat. Lamb's not overly expensive. If we did a French rack, it's probably $20 a pound, but five little lamb chops you can pick up for about $9.
Oh, wow. That's
Great
a good deal.
little date night with COVID for Easter. You can have this beautiful romantic dinner at home. Take half of this and do fruit with it in the morning, and instead of the cheese, drizzle a little honey when it comes out of the oven, or a little vanilla yogurt. So at night you get this two-person romantic dinner.
So, Michelle, the male in me feels like this particular lamb chop here is doing this. I just feel the need to poke it down a little bit. You wouldn't do that, right?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm going to squish all the good stuff out.
Okay, got it.
And if it comes off of the bottom of the pan, it's not going to continue to sear.
Okay.
So you don't get that beautiful, crispy, unctuous, brown food tastes good.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you, we're going to come back to you in the studio, Alex. I'm going to not poke these lamb chops. It's killing me, but Michelle won't let me do it. We're going to be back with more of all of this at Heather Mountain Catering with Michelle. So back to you while I don't poke the lamb chop.
All right, Al, good deal. Yeah, don't poke the lamb chops. We're going to check in and see how they turn out in just a bit. But first, off to a cool, dry start. Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier tracking how long this nice weather sticks around. Stay with us. 7:44 on your Monday morning.
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
We are expecting a pretty nice afternoon around Acadiana, but rain chances will unfortunately be returning to the forecast. We're checking in now with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier for the latest. Adam, what do you have for us?
Well, Alex, we are tracking some chilly temperatures to start our morning off. In fact, you can see around the area still seeing some of those cool temperatures. You're going to need a light jacket as you head out the door this morning, but don't let this fool you. We are going to start to see some warmer temperatures in the coming hours. Now, we are dealing with a lot of sunlight out there, 40s and 50s to begin our morning. Let's see what our futurecast does as we go into the afternoon. The biggest difference between this morning and this afternoon is the wind speeds and wind directions. Picking up those winds out of the east. So right now, kind of still a northeasterly wind, shifting to an easterly wind. What does that do? Not a whole lot. It keeps us kind of on the chilly side. Remember, the warm wind directions are southerly or westerly. We don't have that quite yet, but let's go through the afternoon hours. 4 p.m., we start to see some southerly winds kicking up, and look what that does. Clouds return, especially along the coast later on this evening. Now, these clouds continue to build northward, and our futurecast is dead set. I will say, out of all the futurecasts and all the models that I've run this morning, this has been the one that is just stuck with this idea that showers start to pop up along the coast later on tonight. That's why I'm indicating there's a chance, a very low chance, of seeing some light rain here, say if you're from Abbeville to New Iberia to Morgan City. Again, it's not going to be a whole lot. We're not expecting severe weather, not thunderstorms, just a little bit of some light rain. Tomorrow morning, clouds, those strong southerly winds. Not a pretty start like today at all. Big difference. But look what happens towards the afternoon. Now, on the flip side, this model has been one of the only ones not showing any development of storms tomorrow. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Now, with the most recent run, it does indicate a few light showers, maybe a thunderstorm up towards Ville Platte. I think this will be more widespread north of I-10. Still hit and miss variety, but still the chance at some of those thunderstorms tomorrow. So for today, 72 degrees, lots of sunshine. Tonight, again, a light shower possible along the coastal areas. Rest of us dipping down to the 50s. Kind of a chilly, damp night, but our next rain chance comes tomorrow, where we see, not in the morning time, but in the afternoon, that spike with those spotty showers and some thunderstorms. Again, not severe weather type, but you know, the hit and miss variety that we'll have to watch out for as highs reach into the 80s. Wednesday, that's going to be a rainy day around here. Maybe not a full washout of a day, but scattered showers and storms, possibly some on the strong to severe side. Into the end of the week and Easter weekend looking A-OK. We have no weather issues to tell you about there, just lots of sunshine, a little chilly in the mornings. 30s are possible north of I-10 Friday and Saturday morning, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that, but pretty nice for that Easter weekend.
Sounds great to me, Adam. Thank you for that. We'll check back shortly. Damaging, deadly weather rips through the south, though, creating new problems as some areas are still cleaning up from last week's severe storms. Sal Giangrasso reports.
Several people are dead after flash floods swept across the Nashville area this weekend. The torrential downpours setting records and proving dangerous.
Nashville received more than 7 inches of rain over the past 48 hours. Now that is the second highest two-day rainfall total in our history.
First responders rushed to make more than 100 rescues as folks became trapped in their homes and vehicles. Authorities say at least one victim passed away after their car became submerged in high waters. Others appeared to die after being swept away. But city officials say previous encounters with severe weather made them better prepared to handle these incidents.
Lessons from the 2010 flood did help us prepare for an improved flood response. Now, these include well-trained, swift water rescue teams and improved real-time information sharing.
Meanwhile, down in neighboring Georgia, massive recovery efforts are still underway after a series of deadly tornadoes ripped through the central part of the state last week.
I really was thanking God that we was all okay from the situation, especially after seeing the house.
Forecasters say at least one of the twisters was a Category EF4, the level of violent destruction shocking local leaders.
This is only the 10th F4 tornado since 1950 in the United States. It's the first since 2011.
As residents continue picking up the pieces in Georgia, Nashville is still keeping a watchful eye on water levels, with weather experts predicting another bout of heavy rainfall later this week.
Travel rental sites like Airbnb are getting back to normal and bookings are skyrocketing. We're going to have more on that next in our Consumer Watch. Welcome back. 7:54 DoorDash deliveries. They're giving their first ever Munchie Madness report. Now, a combination of ordering data and a survey of thousands of Americans, and it turns out that people are eating a ton of what DoorDash calls the 3 S's: spicy, sugary, and salty. Tortilla chips, fruit snacks, peanut butter cups, and sour cream potato chips are among the most ordered items, with more than 1,500% increase in orders for hot chili pepper and lime tortilla chips. Interesting. More than half of those surveyed shared their scarfing a second dinner, citing a late night snack around 8 or 9 p.m. If you need some help getting your garden growing, Lowe's is giving away free Garden to Go project kits every week in the month of April. Registration opens on the retailer website this Thursday, April 1st. The first free kit will be available April 8th. Well, and a hopeful sign for the economy, travel sites Airbnb and Vrbo are reporting a boom in online reservations. Vrbo, which stands for Vacation Rentals by Owner, is said to be off to its best start in a quarter century. Shares of rival Airbnb are more than 20% up this year, following the company's successful initial public offering in 2020. Airbnb's hosts have earned a combined $1 billion since the pandemic started last year. Meanwhile, Expedia's stock, which owns Vrbo, has soared more than 30%. Analysts believe consumers are ready to travel and vacation again with the end of the pandemic in sight. Bookings for Travelocity, Orbitz, and Hotwire are starting to bounce back as well. Well, stay with us. Coming up after the break, Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier has the latest in weather to get you out the door this morning.
One final look at that forecast for today shows lots of sunshine out there. A cool day overall. Breezy conditions continue across the region as well. But over the course of the next few days, things begin to change. Showers and thunderstorms once again become a part of our forecast. We're going to talk more on that coming up in our next hour.
Okay, thanks for that, Adam. Our coverage continues in our next hour and anytime on our website, kadn.com. We've got more local headlines, updates in our Crime Watch, and everything you need to know happening this morning around Acadiana and the state. The list of people eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine expands in Louisiana today. Coming up, we'll break down that list for you and where you can get your vaccine.